Hello everyone, healthy greetings. Welcome back to our course Dietary Supplement and Ergogenic Aids in Sport. This is our last and 12th module for this course, and today we are going to talk about module summary and recap. I am Aradhana Sharma, your lead faculty, and the co-faculty here is Dr. Vibha Acharya. You have seen our other modules, you have heard us in the different modules talking about different supplements. In this module, we are going to summarize the knowledge that we shared in last 12 weeks with examples of different scenarios whether one needs to decide whether or not a sport supplement is required, what supplement will be beneficial for the athlete, and what precautions one need to take before prescribing or using the supplements. We will also talk about what supplements are commonly used but can be avoided because they do not provide the exact benefits that they claim for, and also we will have the key takeaways towards the end of this module. So, we will start with the module recap. So, in week 1 we talked about the introduction of different supplements. We also talked about the difference in supplements, sport supplements and the prescription drugs, which is, so prescription drugs are tightly monitored. Those are actually governed by different regulating bodies. So, those are more stringent acts are applicable to that, whereas in the sports supplement such stringent acts are not applicable. That is why one needs to be very careful whether or not use the supplement and take a professional guidance accordingly. We also talked about the labels of the supplement. We should not always just go by what the company or the brand claims. We need to be aware about the ingredients that are listed on the labels, whether they are actually providing the benefits which are covered under the claims. Then we also talked about the precautions related to the supplement usage, that was in week 1. Also we talked about the different categories of supplement. Group A being supported with very strong evidence, and group D are the supplements which may contain some harmful substances or the doping agents. So, A to D are the 4 different classifications depending on the benefits and the scientific backup for those particular supplements. Then we also covered the regulating bodies like World Anti-Doping Agency and NADOS, that is National Anti-Doping Agency, and also the third party certifications for different supplements, so that you are sure that the supplement that you are consuming does not contain any harmful ingredients or does not contain anything which is banned by NADA or WADA. Then psychology behind the supplement we talked about again in week 1. So, in that we covered the beliefs which actually drive for the use of supplements, how the athletes actually think that if I take certain supplement it is going to be beneficial for my performance, and also the social context of the psychology we covered in that how an athlete feels pressured to use the supplement because the other peer group or the coaches are asking them to do it. There is another psychological factor that actually lead them to use the supplement is that fear of missing out, or what we call as FOMO. Then we move to module 2, where we started with the electrolytes and sports drink talk. So, electrolytes, as I had told in that particular segment, are the one very important supplement which can be beneficial for almost all the sport, but the requirement depends on what type of a sport one is playing, duration and intensity of the exercise. Sports drink, again we talked about, are the ones which contain electrolytes along with added ingredients like carbohydrate, and some also contain certain vitamins. Then after that we actually talked about the protein supplement and the mass gainer. So, protein supplement we talked in which sport it is required, different types of protein, plant protein, animal sources of protein, egg protein, whey protein, casein protein, all those we talked about, and also the requirement of protein and the safety precautions that we need to take while using the protein. Then in the same week we covered mass gainers. So, mass gainers are generally need based requirement depending on why an athlete needs it. Generally, it is prescribed for the athletes who have troubled gaining weight otherwise with their regular natural diet. There may be 2 reasons why somebody needs to take mass gainer. One is they need to gain overall weight which may include muscles and the fat weight, and another scenario is where they need to gain their lean mass just to change the category or in the weight category or to get more fit. Depending on their body composition analysis and their fitness goals, we decide if the mass gainer is right for the athletes or not. Then we moved into amino acids. Amino acids we talked about mainly, and again I repeat that we did not cover all 20 amino acids in this course because there are only a few amino acids which are well studied. There are researches supporting that these amino acids are actually beneficial for certain sport. And we covered mainly BCAA, that is branch chain amino acid, which is most widely studied amino acids and is well proven by science that it is beneficial for athletes to use. Along with that, we covered other individual amino acids and their usefulness in different sport. Those are beta-alanine, taurine, citrulline, arginine and glutamine. We also talked about most of these amino acids being present in any dietary supplement or even in the natural diet, anything that provides you essential amino acids. So, these special amino acids will be present there, and if you are taking protein supplement, whey protein, casein, egg protein, whichever way, you are actually going to get these amino acids. So, along with this, the second module was ended with all these talks, and now we move to the recap of the module number 3.
In Module 3, we covered 4 of the most evidence-based performance supplements used in sports nutrition: caffeine, creatine, nitrate and beta-alanine. We began with caffeine, a central nervous system stimulant that reduces the perception of effort and improves endurance, high-intensity work and cognitive alertness. The effective range is usually 3 to 6 mg per kg about an hour before the activity, but individual tolerance and timings can vary. Next, we looked at creatine, the gold standard supplement for strength, power and lean mass. It works by increasing phosphocreatine stores in the body for faster ATP generation during short explosive bouts. The doses are 20 gram per day for a week in the loading phase, and then steady intake of 3 to 5 gram daily works well. We then discussed about nitrates commonly delivered through beetroot juice, celery and some other dietary products. So these enhance nitric oxide production, which improves the vasodilation and blood flow, reducing the overall oxygen cost during the submaximal exercise. A dose of 6 to 8 millimoles taken 2 to 3 hours before performance or loaded over a few weeks can benefit the endurance event over 2 minutes. Finally, in that module, beta-alanine was also covered, which increases the muscle carnosine and buffering capacity and helps in delaying the fatigue. It is especially useful in high-intensity effort lasting 1 to 4 minutes, and typical doses include 4 to 6 grams of beta-alanine per day for at least 4 weeks, ideally split into doses for avoiding side effects. Together, these 4 supplements represent the strongest scientific support for improving sports performance when used correctly, individualized and trial tested in training, not first used on competition day. In Module 4, we focused on 3 additional supplements commonly used in sports such as sodium bicarbonate, pre-workout mixes and omega-3 fatty acids. We started with sodium bicarbonate, a buffering agent that helps neutralize the acid buildup during high-intensity exercise. It is mostly effective for repeated sprint effort or event lasting 1 to 7 minutes such as 400 to 800 meter running, rowing or combat sports. Typical doses are 0.2 to 0.3 grams per kg body weight per day, taken 60 to 120 minutes before the exercise. But gastrointestinal distress is a major limiting factor behind its uses, so athletes need to trial and test before starting the supplementation. Next, in this module, pre-workout supplements were also discussed, which are commercial blends often containing caffeine, beta-alanine, creatine, nitrate and sometimes other stimulants. The key takeaway is that their effectiveness depends on the ingredients and doses used. Many products are underdosed and some may contain banned or unsafe compounds. Athletes should always check for third-party certification, read labels carefully and understand a mix is not automatically better than individual ingredients. Finally, in that module, omega-3 fatty acids were covered, which are primarily EPA and DHA, which plays a role in inflammation control and muscle recovery. It also has some role in cognition and possibly injury prevention and concussion support. There are not acute performance enhancer but long-term health and recovery supplements. Typical sports doses include 1 to 2 grams combined EPA plus DHA per day, ideally from high-quality fish oil or algae sources. Overall, Module 4 highlighted that while these supplements can support performance or recovery, their use requires correct timing, dosing and safety checks, especially with sodium bicarbonate and commercial pre-workout supplements. In Module 5, we focused on key yet often overlooked supplements that support the athlete health and performance. We began with joint health supplements like collagen peptide and glucosamine, especially when paired with vitamin C and proteins about an hour before activity can benefit the athlete in high impact sports like basketball and running. However, consistency for at least 8 to 12 weeks of usage is required for significant effect. Other compounds like chondroitin, MSM, boswellia shows moderate evidence and benefit may vary. Sometimes an oxidant-rich diet with foods like colorful fruits and vegetables, curcumin, omega-3 can provide similar results. These supplements should always complement rehab and medical guidance. In Module 5, spirulina, a nutrient-dense algae, was also discussed, which is rich in protein, B vitamins and antioxidant. It is useful for athletes who don't eat enough greens, especially endurance athletes needing immune and oxidative stress support. A daily 2 to 3 gram dose can be effective, but watch out for contamination and quality issues. We then reviewed essential vitamins and minerals for athletes, especially those on weight category or low-fat diets are at risk of deficiencies. Vitamin D stood out because indoor and winter sports athletes often need supplements, 1000 to 2000 IU per day. Fat-soluble vitamins require healthy fats in the diet to be absorbed, while excess supplementation can lead to toxicity. B-complex vitamins supports energy metabolism, is best taken with meals or around workouts. Vitamin C helps in immune defense and collagen repair during heavy training. Finally, key minerals like iron, calcium and zinc were also discussed. Iron needs monitoring with blood test and absorption improves with vitamin C combination. Calcium and zinc lost through sweat should be replenished through foods like dairy, nuts and whole grains. Supplementation may vary for athletes with low bone density, intolerances or during growth phases. Overall, Module 5 emphasized on building a strong foundation through micronutrient and smart supplementation for long-term performance and health. In Module 6, we shifted focus to supplements not directly aimed at performance but often used by athletes for weight control, gut health, stress or convenience. We began with weight loss supplements, emphasizing that most provide minimal benefit unless paired with the right diet and training. Ingredients like caffeine, green tea extract, synephrine and L-carnitine are marketed for fat loss, but their impact is marginal without a calorie deficit. Many such products are stimulant based and can be risky, especially for athletes with anxiety, cardiac issues or anti-doping regulations. The key takeaways are fat loss is driven more by diet and hormones, not magic pills, especially in weight category sports. Next, under the Module 6, gut health supplements were also covered such as prebiotics and probiotics. Probiotics such as lactobacillus and bifidobacterium can reduce GI distress and support immunity, especially for endurance athletes and those under travel stress. Prebiotics like inulin feed good gut bacteria. We also touched upon emerging postbiotic and symbiotic supplements. The main point is gut health affects digestion and immunity. It also affects the inflammation, recovery and even mood, making it crucial for athlete well-being. We then discussed herbal supplements like ashwagandha, ginseng, curcumin, fenugreek and tribulus. While some offer adaptogenic and anti-inflammatory support, evidence is still mixed and quality and purity matters. Contamination and doping risks are common. Importantly, testosterone boosting herbs can harm female athletes, leading to hormonal imbalance and menstrual issues. Reminder, natural does not always mean safe or WADA approved. Finally, we reviewed meal replacers, and these are convenient nutrient dense drink or powders containing protein, carbs and healthy fats, also containing some micronutrients. It is useful when athletes lack time or access to good meals or need help meeting energy or protein needs. They are helpful but not a replacement for complete diet. A good meal replacement supplement offers 300 to 400 kilocalorie, 20 to 30 grams of protein, should be low in sugar and added fiber. Overall, Module 6 reinforced that supplements are supportive tools, not shortcuts, and should always be used with purpose, timing, safety and context in the mind.
In module 7, we covered different sports and the important supplements, their usefulness and precautions that go along with these supplements. So, we started with power and strength sport. The first supplement that stands out there is creatine monohydrate, which is again a very well researched supplement and does provide good benefits if a proper dosing protocol is followed. After that, beta alanine, different kind of protein supplement and caffeine are also found to be useful in this sport. The precaution there, like for any other sport supplement, we need to check for third party certification. Moving on to, we talked about the endurance sport. A very important ergogenic aid for endurance sport that stands out is carbohydrate loading. But again, just a small precaution there, it is not for everyone. We need to check the dietary, first we need to do the dietary check and assess if enough carbohydrate is provided by the diet. In that case, we need to figure out at what time what amount of carbohydrate should be given to the athlete depending on their requirement. Again, carbohydrate loading can be done with the diet itself, or there are some carbohydrate supplements, carbohydrate powders are available which an athlete can take. It is available not only in powder form, but also the gel and the concentrate form. Of course, electrolyte replacement is very important for the endurance events because of the high sweat rate. After that, caffeine, but we need to be careful about the caffeine dosing. There we have to use, for the endurance sport, we have to use low to moderate dose of caffeine. Again, that has to be tried during the training period, not directly in the event time. Nitrates are one of the supplement group which are well proven for their efficacy in the endurance sport. And then in the recovery nutrition, we go with the carbohydrate and protein 3:1 ratio generally to accelerate the muscle resynthesis. After that, we moved on to skill sports. Skill sports like archery, shooting, golf, these are all under mostly the individual sports fall into the skills category. Caffeine is generally useful, but it is again comes with a precaution that one needs to monitor the dose. For one athlete, 1 milligram per kg body weight may work, but certain athletes need to go higher dose. So, again it is advised that we decide the dosage during the training time and do not do any trials before the tournaments. Omega 3 fatty acids again are very useful in the skill sport and are well researched. Hydration and electrolyte balance is important. Generally, there is a thought process behind the skill sport that we are not sweating so much. So, we do not need to replace the electrolytes, or we do not need to drink so much of water. But that is actually a myth. We need to get the hydration requirement assessed, and it is an individualized plan that is then given to the athlete. So, yes, hydration is important and the electrolyte replacer should be looked into when it comes to skill sport. Skill sports at times need to be very careful to avoid stimulant overuse, and please know that caffeine is a stimulant. That is why it goes with a precaution that one needs to find out the right dosage for them. We moved on to then to racket sport, example tennis, badminton, squash, etc. In racket sport, generally branched chain amino acids and caffeine are found to be beneficial. And again, along with that, electrolyte drinks are very important, because in these sport the sweat rate are usually high. These are the except squash, tennis and badminton, the sweat rate is very high. In squash, again it depends on the individual requirement. Carbohydrate gels or drinks can be prescribed for these athletes depending on the time of their tournament and how long they are going to be playing there. Then antioxidant rich supplements, vitamin C, E and polyphenols, these are also found to be useful, and we do have some good research which actually back up this statement that these supplements are good overall for most of the sport. These supplements are actually useful for, but they are well researched when it comes to the racket sports also.
In module 9, supplements for injury prevention and sports rehabilitation were discussed, under which we discussed team sports specifically. For team sports, omega 3 fatty acids can be very useful because they reduce the exercise induced inflammation and joint stiffness, supporting the recovery with repeated impact. Collagen and vitamin C can improve the tendon and ligament integrity, reducing soft tissue injury risk. Protein, as usual, can be used 20 to 30 grams per meal, which will aid in muscle repair and recovery after high intensity matches or training schedules. Electrolyte and antioxidant support is also required in team sports to combat dehydration and oxidative stress in a prolonged play. Vitamin D and calcium maintains the bone strength and reduces stress fracture risk in contact or running based sports. Supplements for injury prevention includes collagen peptides 5 to 15 milligrams daily with vitamin C to enhance the resilience of tendons, cartilage and ligaments. Omega 3 such as EPA and DHA supports the anti-inflammatory pathways, reducing chronic injury risk. Vitamin D and calcium can also be very beneficial to reduce the injury risk by promoting optimal bone density and reducing the risk of fractures and overuse injury. Antioxidants, especially vitamin C, E and polyphenols, protects the tissue from oxidative damage during intense training schedules. Magnesium and zinc also contributes to injury prevention by supporting muscle contraction, repair and prevention of cramps or micro tears in the muscle fiber. Supplements for sports rehabilitation includes protein, whey, casein or plant proteins. They all support lean tissue repair and prevents muscle loss during immobilization or reduced training phases. Collagen plus gelatin intake 30 to 60 minutes before rehab exercises have shown to be enhanced tissue healing and collagen synthesis. Omega 3 fatty acids can also be beneficial in the rehabilitation stage by reducing the inflammation and pain, accelerating recovery from joint or muscle injuries. Vitamin D, C and zinc all are supportive nutrients in a rehabilitation phase by supporting the immune function, connective tissue health and healing post-injury. Creatine monohydrate can also aid muscle strength retention during the rehabilitation and immobilization, and it also promotes faster return to training and readiness. Now we come to module 10. In module 10 we explored the legal and ethical aspects of sports performance, specifically anti-doping. We began by understanding the anti-doping rule violations or ADRVs that are outlined by World Anti-Doping Agency. There are 11 types of rule violation, which includes presence or use of a prohibited substance, refusal to undergo testing, tampering with the samples or possession or trafficking of banned substances. A key point is strict liability. Strict liability implies that athletes are fully responsible for anything entering their body even without intent. ADRVs apply not only to athletes but also to coaches, parents and support staff. Next, we clarified critical athlete responsibilities like knowing the annually updated WADA prohibited list, declaring all supplements and medicine on the doping form, using therapeutic use exemption for prescription medicine, choosing only batch tested supplements and maintaining accurate whereabouts which are required from elite athletes. We highlighted how to prevent accidental doping by using only third party tested supplements like Informed Sports, NFS and Banned Substance Control Group. Always checking the prescription drug with the global DRO or NADA and WADA resources. Avoid high risk products like herbal mixes, fat burners or online boosters. Keep receipt, batch numbers and medical records clear. Consult your sports doctor or nutritionist before taking anything new. The message is clear, nutrition and anti-doping awareness go hand in hand. Lastly, we tackle the question, do athletes really need supplements? The answer is yes and no, it depends. Appropriate use depends on context, goal and evidence. This topic addressed the question in two parts. Part 1 explored the why and when the dietary supplements, distinguishing the scientific need for supplementation from the practical reason athletes use them for. It emphasized identifying appropriate situation for supplement use and when they are necessary, and part 2 focused on what supplements may be considered for athletes. It discussed factors influencing the supplement recommendation, sport specific, athlete specific, personal, product specific and industry related factors, and introduced the ABCD classification of supplement categorization, which ma'am has already explained. In conclusion, the need for supplement is both yes and no. They must be individualized, evidence based and carefully justified according to the context and athlete requirements.
In week 11, we covered ergogenic aids in sport and exercise, their protocol, efficacy, safety and the regulatory aspect. We divided this one into two parts. Part 1, we focused on the systematic approach to prescribing the ergogenic aids. This is basically so that the athletes come to us, we just can't just consult and start prescribing supplements of our choice. We need to see actually the efficacy, and first of all, even if there is a requirement for certain supplement that the athlete is asking for. Then second part was to address the safety and regulatory consideration. Once we decide that certain supplement may be useful for some athletes, we actually need to check whether this supplement is safe and properly regulated, whether they have proper certifications in India or from abroad, and whether their efficacy is accordingly according to the regulatory bodies what is recommended and what the supplement is actually claiming should match. And we need to make sure the product is authentic and not just a marketing gimmick. Then we also in the same week we covered the industrial manufacturing aspect of a sports supplement. It is very important for us to understand the supplement should be of high quality, free of other ingredients which may be harmful for the health or which may put the athlete under the doping net. So, for that scientific and regulated formulation of the supplement is very important. Then the sourcing of those raw ingredients which are going to be presented in the supplement form is very important to understand what is the sourcing of those raw ingredients. Then the quality of the ingredients, also to adhere the advanced manufacturing standards, so that the supplements can be certified by the Food and Drug Administration or by FSSAI. After that, we also discuss about the drug free certification, which is very important, and there are only few organizations in the world which actually certify the supplements. For that, they are banned substance free. Certain labs are NFSU, Informed Sports and Banned Substance Control Group, which actually provide the third party lab certifications to different supplement brands. Then sustainable and innovative packaging. Packaging of the supplement is very important, so that it cannot be easily tampered with, to keep our athletes safe and of course ourselves also safe, because we would be the one prescribing those. So, it is important to know that the safety precaution is also taken while packaging the supplement. Also the supplement manufacturing aspects, we talked about the drug free model. So, this actually has to go with the intent that we want to provide the supplement so that athlete can follow the clear motto of fair play or play clean. We do not want to have the doping tinted athletes in our system. So, that is why this is very important for us to understand the drug free model of the supplement. This has to be evidence based formulation which actually ensure the supplement is effective. We should just not go by claim, we should always go for the clear label reading, which we call as the transparent labels. So, the manufacturer have to provide the transparent information on the label and should not include certain phrases like other ingredients, because we are never sure of what those other ingredients may actually be covered under the that supplement. Then commitment to clean sport actually reflects to ethical manufacturing and long term industrial credibility. We also talked about in this module that do's and don'ts for buying and using the sports supplement, because we need to buy with purpose. We should know why our athletes want a supplement, and the athletes should know how this supplement is actually going to be beneficial for that. So, it is the simple phrase is buy with purpose. You should know why you are buying and what effect it is going to have on your performance and even on your health. Be informed. Our athletes and we ourselves should be informed, their coaches should be informed that certain supplement comes with certain risk. So, not all supplements come with risk, but yes, dosing is very important. So, we need to make it clear, they have to make an informed choice that their supplements are not going to harm their health now or later in the long term. Then they need to select the supplement wisely after checking all the certifications, make sure that it is dope free and it is validated by proper scientific research. Verify the authenticity. One needs to make sure that there are batch number properly listed on the supplement invoice, or when you buy the supplement it should be on the label also what batch number that supplement was produced in. So, you can always go ahead and check whether it was safe in that particular batch or not. Then avoid misuse. Yes, all the supplement comes with their own risk, and there is one supplement use and there is supplement abuse. So, we need to make sure that the athletes are properly educated, and again it is properly, their use is properly listed on the supplement by the supplement manufacturer, so that the athletes can refrain from overusing or misusing that supplement. We need to promote clean sport so that we stay away from falling into doping net and getting our athletes stinted. Then sports supplement industry career pathway was the topic we discussed in module number 12. Now, as I had talked in the earlier session about the supplement market, it is a multi-billion-dollar market and it is growing year by year. So, that is why we need to understand there are a lot of career pathways opened in the sports supplement industry as well, right from the research to the manufacturing side of it, also into research and development department, different formulation and all, quality control and check. So, food supplement and dietary supplement come along with the sports supplement. So, it is important for us to understand the career pathways it is opening for the generations. Technology and health trackers are now enabling the collection of data and personalized nutrition and supplement use. So, that is one field which has opened up for the professionals. Then the guidelines and the precautions and all that, so that comes into the quality control and check. So, there are various positions open in quality control and check. The goal actually is to empower athlete to achieve their optimal performance through responsible supplement. Continuing with the career pathway, the sports supplement industry is expected to rise exponentially over the next decade, and I had shared some data with you with the predictions of what it is going to be by 2030 and 2034. So, the growth is actually fueled by various initiatives from the central and state government, and I am right now talking particularly about the Indian government. Here in sports departments, defense ministry, tribal ministry, education ministry and corporates, clubs, schools and many more, which are actually fueling the growth of the supplement industry. Every professional who is actively involved in sports related activity has an opportunity to enter into a career pathway which leads to the sports supplement industry. The intent and the intention to be in the sports supplement industry must be with a mission, and the mission should be to win with clean sport. So, we want to maintain the clean sport motto here along with all our faculties and all the manufacturers. So, this in module 12 is where we are right now. We have just summarized and recapped all what we have done in till now in this course, and now after this in the next session myself and Dr. Vibha will see you, we will discuss few cases and how do we handle the real life scenario when the athletes come from for different consultations, and how we actually handle the practical scenario with different cases that we will be discussing in the next session. So, see you soon in the next session.